It's not the main point of the reinvention right now that the mystery should with it might be either a clinical important or like chemical voice from that deliberation army might be the case that least of the that under the training was like they might have had like the hobby of that always creating origami might be like the case that name by the reinvention. So like since the origami as well as on top of that, that chemical might have also seen like the CCTV musicians of like the system. So like at that point, definitely chemical might have naturally identified that succulent as well as the consumer of the range right the chemical or that chemical from the right. So that's the activity that makes methods of the range. So like that based on environmental engineering, for example, regardless of whether like the social might be chemical product of some boyfriend like they might have came to the country something for chemical. Might have been that related to especially right engineering. Also like in my engineering section right now, maybe from this point on for like feeling to turn soft to the realization about like current realization about like I'm not trying to feel as that she has a lot to do now. And basically that resulting in black really turning soft and like I'm going to my QE to be like the first to like recognize it. Realize that and basically QE at that point that desperately trying to that we straight away calling Billy out on that and basically you desperately at that point trying to like convince Freddie and sort of someone who still even at that point will be blindly following to me. It was like living the scenario that I was just noticing. Okay, so like definitely my particular impression right now, definitely format to it at present to that definitely without without finding as well as like something realizing is that as definitely giving up training believe to that the point of that realizing that like at present that believe doesn't at all care about that the food to that situation but like only cares about like finding better and like life to or is like given the scenario that I'm notifying. And at that point, I'm notifying to use the failure trying to like convince that idea of the Mr. Militman and so trying to be state blind in the following that good and that good to do it like to the scenario that I was supposed to correct. So but that's the I'm expressing it in my video I'm pushing that but I might be a surrogate mother and that backup some might be natural thing that marriage as well as from that of some might be that the case the female ambition and Becca might have solely agreed to being the surrogate mother solely out of that what might be that marriage intimidation against that Becca to harm Billy if that Becca doesn't agree to it. Might have been what might have happened in like the past of the week when the episode, but like after Becca startup raising some Becca might have been feeling that an actual mother and that Becca might have been feeling that some homes on that like she might have taken it startup to that is not give up to that family and that Becca might have been planning typically planning that most of the square is still actually to be strict man into that escaping from that matter but some basically might have been like the case when we went to the so that's me quite particularly ambition right now for that the tension between that better from that only sharp increasing and like I'm bring that not getting around and basically with them to different like the situation of that the lot of mad the number to bring that better deciding to like take the chance and basically take the room can be better that they will be attempting to escape from homeland with that better from that is not that number right. At that point, I'm looking for lactic natural using its power and mixed with the demon of lactic and actual at that point that Homeland presenting to that comes to the Q and A play for example, say Homeland of Sun, why the law of better would have happened to that action reflecting with the rich and again what's happening while the after this lockdown relentless would have finally located that better sport and finally would be aspect to do the thing that finally is will be selected to working but better and that point is when about what is happening. Oh yes, so like the police of this gentleman of theory of mission as well that the arrow hero plan might be to that trick the date into giving by giving possible to that the day to get back to that seven while actually that the arrow might be wanting to that replace the team and take the lead spot in that seven might be like that within the team. So like they might be trying to like use the deep into trying to like to be secure the meeting with like for like that of your with like for like might be that it is the need as well in generation. It is the like only in the generation person right now that like an embrace from that might have been about to bring down and during their meeting. But like at that very last second, like it might have intimidated Homelander back by most likely telling Homelander that like even if that Homelander flips down and like still at that point such that without any data at all, like Homelander's team secret would be going public when they organize that and might have independent Homelander. So that way solely into that's why I don't like Homelander right now. Ended up backing down and like listening to that at might have been what made a better messaging very okay, so like the lead messaging very important right now is that like John might be an extremely more teacher and like that way from this point on I'm going to say for the extremely hard for like Starlight to have some secret meetings with the Black Suit as well as for like the email to like secretly meet up with like Elena as well. It's like the scenario that I'm going to like okay, so like the need my secondary conversion right now that is that the series of the Doid that Jared Cotton might be having an ultimate villanistic plan which might be to like take the personal situation of like the food within to their advantage to like to take authority of like the entire of the country and that is of like the what to like the entire of like the country by steadily bringing down all the using the tools to like steadily bring down all the top opinions and then to put like the blame on like the soul villain which that they themselves might have brought to like the country to solely to put the blame on and they see that way doing all this while by pretending to play like by pretending like the public by pretending to play the previous that might be a done the character and maybe let the plans that we make it very much. Okay, so like the lead messenger and right now is that catering current plan which we may be having might be like this to turn Starlight to integrate Starlight into turning Starlight into a compound based delivery service. So I think that the case that need my just so several times right for like different started still or like intermediate Starlight and at that point I'm not pretty Starlight straight away giving that the compound we in support to that catering is like the narrative that I'm going to say. But like I'm currently putting that definitely not being enough at all for like catering needing more like the narrative that I'm going to say. And definitely I'm putting the time like I'm going to bring Mallory I'm going to bring most likely needing example of like compound B like memory asking that to release like to combine like Troy or with that Islamic that I'm looking for like memory to like make some own move and everything was like Islamic that I'm looking for. At that point I'm only putting for black deleting the spread for black from on the end I'm looking at that point one getting user here turning back to this like kind of like at that point I'm looking for like uh black 20 as well as black subnet black identity that they need to has black compound being intersects of the damage that is not that I'm looking for. So we might have like really about that Sabbath having problems with compound being to friendly as well as black determined by now might be like the game that we were today. So like that when I'm kind of from like three that after Starlight from like the compound being and at that point that Starlight is playing like the hater integration to that team and that basically is returning back to like the hater like no compound being and like really trying to like explain that the situation of Starlight. But at that point I'm looking something from like to that not even really not only Starlight but like not even to that I'm looking for that really maybe even telling to that somebody can tell you that like really I'm not spending so much time with like Starlight that really has changed and basically that doing herself has lacked that has started collecting like the food. And that's the reason that she doesn't like the platform that will be having returned back to that again. To the extent to which like I'm not listening naturally at that point going on and it's not exactly thing. And at that point I was saying that it would quarrel and clash happening between that doing and to be a game especially just an argument that of the thing. Oh yes, well, but the but the reason right now that like Starlight maybe might be having like the power to turn up entire body to taking like the properties of light might be that again that the treatment is horrendous. So that Starlight might have gained that power to hide like the compound being taken while it right so might have been more better habit that leak might be like impressive. So that but leak might be very interesting right now that Becca by now might have grown so that to some extent that at person that Becca might not that one at all care about that Philip might be and might not be the same Philip at all. And person might be that will reflect against the leak might be the reason. Oye, se me permite the theory and predict right now start that would have created a hundred different Becca created trying to that integrate Homelander by telling Homelander that actually make Homelander secret in public. That was our standard or bring back and that went back Homelander intimating Becca that by telling Becca that basically Homelander was at that point turned out to be so like at that point Becca not even caring at all about like if like Homelander this that was not that number. So like that being shocked for like Homelander sorry that number like so like next time Homelander at that point debating Becca by telling Becca that like then Homelander will just going up for implemented again like Becca by stating that like it's went out of that then Homelander straight away bring down Ryan said this now that I'm going to correct. So at that point I'm going to bring down Becca feeling absolutely yeah. And yet I'm not different but I'm still really attempting to in that the middle of one my flash attempting to land the cable that Ryan but next at that point of when I'm bringing suddenly for like to like and I still in that really lab the down to Becca and still just not extended.